What's up, guys? I hope that you all are doing well. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night. It's June 4th. Happy June. Happy summer. Happy all kinds of stuff. The flowers are out. It's a nice time here in Minnesota. It actually got to like 88 today. I was like, this is sort of getting warm. Anyway, you didn't come here to talk about the weather. We got Sara and Josh from SunDog Serpents on the show tonight. If you haven't met them before, I definitely want to introduce you to them. I think that they're wonderful people, and I truly think that they are a great example of people that have diligently built their collection, built their visions and their goals over time. And I've known them for a long time. I've had a really good benefit of knowing them, and I'll tell you all about them. So stick around tonight. I think that there's a lot to learn, or a lot to that you'll find that you have in common with. How about that? I definitely do, and I like working with them, and we've become very good friends as well over time. So excited to welcome Sara and Josh from SunDog Serpents. We'll do that. We'll get right to the show tonight, right after these announcements. I'll go pretty quick. Credit to Sara and Josh. I sort of have a belief that if you could do it, you shouldn't turn down. I mean, if it fits the brand, of course, you shouldn't turn down an interview or an appearance or whatever you want to call it, an opportunity to get your brand out there. So when I talked to them about doing the show tonight, they said, yeah, we'll do it, but we got to be out of here in time because we're on another show at 9:30. And I was like, 9:30 Eastern. This is like right after this. I was like, oh no. And they said, absolutely, we'll do it. So that is Ken at the Let Me Know show. Ken on Instagram is LMK. I think it's LMK Reptiles. Ken's been a good buddy and a good supporter over time as well. So all respect to Ken, certainly not trying to intrude. It just worked out that way tonight, and it worked out on short notice. So after the show tonight, I'm going to go hang out and check out the Let Me Know show, LMK, and that is hosted by Ken. So there's that. SunDog is doing double duty tonight. I want to throw it out there. I have a table at the Tampa, Florida Repticon. I know a lot of people, a lot of viewers, and a lot of friends of Sara and Josh's are in Florida. The Tampa Repticon is sold out. I'm living in Minnesota now. I'm not going to be there. It's available. I'm not trying to make any money on it. I would like my costs covered if you'd like it. I had to double check the price. I think it's $90 for the weekend or something like that. It's not very much. Get in touch with me. If you're interested, let me know. It's this weekend. It's the 8th and the 9th, I believe, is the exact dates. I'm going to confirm that with Sara and Josh here in just a moment. Look, if you want to get your feet wet, you want to pop up a banner and just meet people and build your brand, whatever you want to do, the table's available, and I'm happy to share it. Like I say, I just want my costs covered. I'll probably let it go, but if you're somebody that thinks that you'll use it repeatedly while you're on a wait list until you can get your own table, let me know. I'll buy it again. Anyhow, just let me know. You can email me at properroyals@gmail.com, Instagram, all that. Just get in touch with me, however you want to get in touch with me, okay? So one table, Tampa Repticon, they're 8-footers, and that's this weekend. So let me know. Coming up, a schedule. We got a banging month. I got SunDog tonight. Next week, Steven from Leviathan Snakes is going to come on. He was on in the comments section, maybe even on the morning show, but on one of my shows. And he and I, first off, let's make it clear, like, he and I are great friends. He's done amazing things for me, and I hope I've always been as generous and loyal back to him. But he and I disagree on some business strategies. There you go. And there's obviously more than one way to run any business. But Steven and I don't even want to use the word debate. We'll discuss the merits and the downfalls, or both of our opinions, of high dollar investments versus what I would call a cash flow model. And anyway, next week he will be on for that. I got a flood of comments after he and I were jawing a little bit in the comments that said, you gotta hash this out. So next week, Steven from Leviathan Snakes will be on. The week after, Corey DeLong from CD Constrictors, also very, very close to SunDog Serpents there in Florida. He's in Daytona Beach. Corey will be on. If you're not familiar with Corey, you should check out CD Constrictors. And excuse me, I messed up the order. Leviathan snakes, then Bob Vu from Bob's Balls. I promised you all a big announcement. That's not the big announcement. Bob's got a nice opportunity deal, special discount for Proper Royals listeners, but you're going to have to listen a little longer. You know, we're going to tease, we're going to play this thing out. It is worth your time. I don't make a point of teasing things and then not delivering. So it's worth sticking around. So stick around tonight. So Bob Vu and then Corey DeLong will be on. So really great month of guests both tonight and coming up. I'm off this weekend coming up, but then I get busy. I got 3 shows in 8 days, kind of crazy. I'll be in La Crosse, Wisconsin on June 15th. I will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota with the Cold Blooded Expo here, hometown show in Minneapolis out by the airport the 16th. So those are back to back, 2 states, 2 days. And then the following Sunday on June 23rd, I'll be in Des Moines, Iowa. Those 3 shows, except for one in July, will be the end of shows until late August. So come out, come see what I got. If you're interested, you don't have to wait till shows to do business, but shows are always nice. Do it in person, see the animal in person, all that stuff. Hit me up for lists if you want to know what I got available before the shows, but I'll be hitting it hard, those 3. I really want to liquidate some inventory, those three shows, because I got the hatchlings coming. I mean, I need some space. So good opportunity for deals. Come see me then, okay? I think we're within a week away of launching properroyals.com. That's the project I'm doing with Husbandry Pro. That team has been phenomenal. If you're not familiar, the website will be an e-commerce site that's fully integrated with Husbandry Pro. And it's separate from what they've already been offering. This is a totally new offering. I'm the test pilot, beta test, whatever you want to call it, guinea pig. The website will use an Husbandry Pro plugin, and it will update inventory in real time. You can buy animals directly from me, directly on the properroyals.com site. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity for me to have a much quicker answer for where people could go to check out my inventory, what snakes I have available, all those kinds of inquiries. It's just going to be properroyals.com from now on. So I'm really, really excited for that. Huge, huge thanks to Husbandry Pro, Robert Vanderclay, the founder and the tech developer behind that whole software system. Has been amazing to work with. So stay tuned. That unveiling will come out pretty soon. Last but not least, Patreon. I want to say thanks. Sara and Josh are members of the Patreon. They're the first Patreon subscribers that I've ever had on. I make a pretty strong personal commitment that no matter whether it's advertising or Patreon, that there's not really a pay to play. You don't get to just pay money and come on the show. I respect the audience too much for that. I always want to bring content. And but it was the right time. It was the right fit. It's a great topic, and it came up pretty organically. And I felt like it was a really good time to do this. If you haven't checked out the Proper Royals Patreon, you should. Here's the thing. Here's my value proposition to you. It's $7 a month on the lowest tier, which gives you full access to the community, full access to the video library, full access to the Instagram chat. You get first dibs on animals before they go to Morph Market, before they go anywhere else. Patreon gets dibs on those. And any tier above the $7 builds store credit. It all goes 100% back to you. And matter of fact, I eat the fees on it that Patreon takes out. So I could argue it's actually more than 100% that goes back to you. And I'm telling you about it now because, like I said, those hatchlings are coming. If you've seen pairings, if you're interested in something I got coming, if you want to know what pairings I'm doing, message me. I'll share my Husbandry Pro pairing, breeding program with you. So I truly think the value proposition is a very, very high level of return for yourself. So check it out. And I think it's an amazing community, and I'm happy to really showcase a couple of those members tonight. So there's that. I said last but not least a minute ago, but this really is last but not least. I want to say thank you to the audience. You guys have been amazing. I love doing this show. I look forward to it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be able to. I'm coming up on 3 years of every Tuesday night having this show. and it's become a cool community. I like getting through the monologue so I could go see what the comments are. I see there's 27 of you here early tonight. I got to tell you, thank you all so much, both for kind of the fun and the personal fulfillment, but you all engaging with this show and sort of that social contract that I'm going to bring you good content and you're going to trust that it's not a waste of your time to be here. It means the world to me. And it's provided what I never would have dreamt of as a good business opportunity of advertising income, of people that want to advertise on the show. I have amazing, just humbling people that get in touch with me that see me as legitimate or see me as a really, really viable way to get their brand or their message out there. And that's because of the audience. At the end of the day, I'm only a part of it because I got to put it out there, but you guys got to be the loyal consumers, which you've been. I'm just amazed by it. So sorry to take that, that sidetrack, but I always want to make sure of how much I show my appreciation and my gratitude. I'm blown away. If I had said that out loud 3 years ago, I just would have been like, dude, if that's your plan, you need to stick with restaurants. And yet here we are, and it evolved organically, and I never could have seen it evolving this way. So I'm thank you is what I'm saying. It all started from the YouTube channel and it evolved to this show and then has just blossomed as a business. So thank you is what I'm saying. I appreciate it. And I look forward to keeping up this for a long, long time. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Sara and Josh, I met, speaking of YouTube, I think I got to ask them. I think we first made contact on my YouTube channel, maybe even before my show started, but certainly maybe through the show. And then they were one of the very first people to come and see me when I was vending, and I was blown away that I got to meet people in person that I sort of knew from the internet. It's this really surreal thing. If you've never vended before, when you get to meet like Instagram colleagues or people from the internet and you get to meet them in person, it's a really, really cool thing. And we hit it off. We've hung out numerous times. Sara came and vended with me one time in Orlando. The reason that I have a Tampa table open is that they have their own table in Tampa now, maybe 2 tables, but anyway, at least one. So go see them this weekend. Anyway, like I say, full transparency, they're Patreon members, but we've been friends for a long time. They've been great supporters. And I really want to introduce Sara and Josh from SunDog Serpents. I think they've been on in like group chats before. Maybe it's the first time. Anyway, welcome to the Proper Royal stage, Sara and Josh from SunDog Serpents. What's happening, guys?
Hey,
how's it going?
It is good. Did I screw up the story? I was trying to think off the top of my head. When did we meet?
Yeah, I think we actually did see you on YouTube. And then we saw you at the show. We're like, hey, we saw you on TV.
Yeah, I think that's how it went. We're like Proper Royals.
Was it
the man right there? He's going to quit his job and he's going to do reptiles full time one day.
So yeah, he's gonna do that, or he's gonna starve first. Was that the Orlando or the Kissimmee show, you think?
I think that was Orlando.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had that table right in the, like, almost smack in the center of the room there. Anyway, well, it's good to see you all tonight. It's crazy when it rains, it pours, right? You got double duty tonight. You're going on Ken's show in 74 minutes.
Yep, it's going to be a long one, but I think we can do it.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. I know you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken, like I say, I think Ken is one of those people that I have not met in person, but I know from the internet, and we've chatted for a long time. So he's always been good to me. I have to go check out the show tonight and see what he's got going on. Let's just skip right to the ball python stuff. We're on a little bit of a limited time, and you know what? Like, I have to admit, from a content standpoint, maybe everybody doesn't want to hear about the first time we were inspired by the garter snake in the garden or whatever, I put in that little promo that I cut today for the show that there's like this magical thing that happens after 3 years. And Sara and I were talking on Sunday. We do like a monthly Patreon get together. And it hit me that 3 years is like you have enough breeding experience under your belt that you know what you're doing. You were buying breeders to start with, but the cool stuff was the hatchlings that are old enough now, and like you could finally start producing, like, excuse the expression, but the badass stuff that you've been dreaming about for like the first couple of years are just like staying in the game and feeling like you're playing ball, right? But like this third year, I think this is the one, and we talked about that a lot, and I was like, you know what, I think that's the answer. And I saw Chris in the audience earlier. Chris has this great like rant that he went on one time where he says, do you even know how long 3 years is? Do you know how long it takes to do anything for 3 years? And you guys have done that. And I was like, that's when I was like, you know what? You got to be on the show. We got to talk about this. So tell us a little bit about that. You can decide if you want to be specific on money spent and that kind of thing, but tell us some stats of volume and quantity and what you've accumulated for the past 3 years.
Sure. I mean, basically, when I had snakes a lot when I was younger, and I've always loved them. And then I was like, you know what? I want a ball python. So we got our ball python, and immediately at the next reptile show, I'm like, you know what? I want another ball python. And then that's where it started. Shortly thereafter, we had like 30 snakes. and of course we discovered Morph Market and just like anybody else does. And we made the same mistakes that new breeders do, which is, we're like, oh, let's get this snake. It's really cheap. And, we learned pretty quickly that that's not the way to go about it. So I think at the second year is when you kind of realize, like, wait a second, I didn't do this right. Let me kind of trim down some of the fat and start investing in good snakes. And then that's where we are here coming into year 3, where we've kind of gotten rid of year 1 stuff. And through year 2 and coming into year 3, we're finally, we've got good snakes and we're producing good snakes. And I think that's where we're at right now.
I think one thing that really stuck out to me was that you're producing not only good snakes on paper, but like actually visual. It's great to have this het 19 things, but at the end of the day, it's got to look cool. You know what I mean? And like, you guys are producing the visual stuff now. It's not the, hey, here's what I'm planning. Here's my quad het for 15 years out. No. You're doing it now. Was that sort of planned? Was that just how it happened to shake out? Did that thought ever enter your mind that at some point you got to produce the thing at some point, right?
Yeah. I mean, pretty quickly we realized that what we had invested in was not going to get us where we needed to be. Cause I mean, we're all in it to make cool snakes. Right. So that's where, like, if we want to make cool snakes, we have to have the ingredients to make cool snakes. And so pretty quickly we were like, you know what, let's start investing in the snakes that we love, that we think are awesome, especially with like Axanthic. I think Josh was first intrigued by Axanthic, and then we went all in.
I mean, the first snake I fell in love with, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
First snake I fell in love with was an Axanthic clown from JD Constriction. I mean, most people would say the Stormtrooper, but this Firefly Axanthic clown, chef's kiss. So we've been trying to get the stuff together to kind of follow in that, and also put our own little spin on it.
Yeah, a couple thoughts on that related, actually. One being, probably it wasn't from JD, but probably the most memorable Axanthic I ever saw was a Firefly. It was a VPI, but it was from, and it's fitting, it was from Steve's Morphs, which I see you got the hat on with the new logo, and then Sarah, you got Jeremy and Jeannie Bod's shirt on breeders there too. What's that?
Support your local breeders.
Hey, and those folks are top tier. I know it's really cheesy to say I wouldn't be here without so-and-so. I wouldn't be here without Steve and Jeremy and Jeannie. They're fantastic.
Can't say enough about how great they've been to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys get to see it. I happen to know that, oh, wait a minute. You got a different table. The other table is right there in Steve and Bod's Exotic Reptiles alley. Yeah, you got a different little geography now, huh?
You know where we're going to be at this time? We're going to be in the same circle as Dale. We're going to be right behind Dale. So it works out.
Oh, man. With George MD at the other end?
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have those tables. So those are the tables that we have.
Those are no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, George has like 2 on the end. Dale takes the 4 on the long end, and then it's always a toss up of who's got the other end. Yeah, you're right by the bathrooms too. That's a real strategic place end cap to be. Everybody's got to go, you know. Yeah, so go out and that's this weekend at Tampa, right?
Yep, the 8th and 9th.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So everybody loves arguing about it. Give us your pitch. What's your I get so tired of it, but everybody loves it. What's your Axanthic pitch? What team are you on and why? Give me some reason.
I'll let you take that.
I mean, for me, the TSK is where it's at. I mean, there's a lot of VPI out there, and it's probably less expensive to get it, but it's also, you're going to have to keep a close eye on where it came from, what the quality is.
Right.
Versus, I mean, all of our TSK stuff, with the exception of a couple, we got 1 or 2 from Steve, 1 or 2 from a random breeder, but it's
JD. We got a couple from JD, a couple from Bob Krupe.
So I mean, these lines are easier to to kind of get the good quality stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually I don't mind, obviously, the opposing opinions. You guys know me well enough. That doesn't bother me. I picked VPI because it was what was accessible and what I happened to buy first off. Actually, one of the very first visual females I ever bought was a VPI Axanthic, which, funny story, Keith at Creative Genetics, who I have a clown VPI from, bought that girl from me. And about 8 months later, he said, "Hey, this is an adult male, dude. This is not good." And I was like, "No, that is not good." No wonder that thing was always freaking out when I tried to breed it. It never occurred to me that maybe it was a male. So I made it right to Keith. I refunded his money immediately. And then actually credit to, I won't call him out, but credit to the breeder I bought it from 3 years earlier, made it right as well, which is, that's an upstanding person. So if they happen to be watching and they want to name who they are, more power to them, but I don't think that they watch. But anyhow, they did make it right. They do. And it's almost funny because like a beginner probably is going, how in the world can you guys be experienced and not realize that? But it's like you check it once and you're sure of the outcome and you don't think again about it. And we all have those weird breeders. I was like, it's just a weird snake. The thing just doesn't, I don't know. It's just, they're just weird. They're just weird animals, But yeah. And then I find out it's a male. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. No wonder.
I mean, some of those males are very private with their stuff. They don't really want to put it out there for people to see. So what are you going to do?
You know what? That's right. That's right. And that could be, there's some humans that could take a lesson from that too. So anyway, we'll move on. I think it was Keeper Kane, who's also in the Patreon. Kane said, to paraphrase, that he's knowledge rich and snake poor. Have you ever felt snake rich and money poor? You can, like, as in like like people talk about being real estate house rich and dead broke. Have you found yourself in that position, or how did you approach buying and investing?
When you become snake rich, you become money poor. That's what happens because you spend all your money on snakes. So now you have all the snakes and none of the money. That's just the way it goes.
I mean, it is a matter of self-control, of which we don't have a lot of.
It's mostly my fault, but we're getting better. The grandma test. I fail it every single time. What are you going to do? I like a pretty snake. That's what sells, and that's what I like.
I was going to say, I have a strong argument for the grandma test because it will pay the bills. And some of that's going to be what I discuss, not argue, I slipped, what I discuss with Steven next week. So that you don't have to go snake rich and money poor. You can build up to those places because you can always buy the snake in the future is my argument, but that's next week's topic. One thing I've noticed about you all, though, you've always managed to find the space and find the time. Most people run out of one or the other. Tell me a little bit about that, a little bit about your facility. You have each other. I was thinking today, Kelly's incredibly supportive, but she ain't washing snake tubs. I tell you that right
Yeah.
now. And like, I'm literally staring at a pile of them that later tonight I'm going to have to go wash, like after dark, you know, before I go to bed, I got to go do dishes kind of thing. So
I mean, it's a struggle. We both work full time for a solar company. So that's our full-time day job. And then the snakes are after that. Mostly because we breed our own rodents too, you know, rats, ASFs, mice. Now we have gerbils and hamsters. Mostly I take care of the rodent stuff and he takes care of the snake stuff. And sometimes we'll cross over and help each other with stuff. And occasionally we'll bring someone in to kind of help for like a Saturday. It is a lot of work and we're very, very busy. But I think that's where it helps having such love for the hobby, because then it doesn't feel like work. Like my day job, I mean, I bust my butt. I'm tired at the end of the day, but when I switch over to the snake stuff, that's not work. That is my relaxing time. You know, I get to hang out with the animals, and that's really like all I want to do anyways.
Yeah. Josh, what about you?
His opinion differs.
I mean, we could always be more efficient with our time. The way that I mean, if I do the snakes by myself, it takes Saturday and Sunday. Luckily, I usually get a little bit of help by the time we get down to the smalls and we get it done in a day.
The rodents or the snakes?
The snakes. I do the
rodents. The rodents get done a lot quicker than the snakes do.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting on, I think, 235 snakes right now. So it's a lot of work.
Yeah. How many ballpark either babies or clutches you think you have coming this year?
We have 12 in the incubator right now, 12 clutches. We've got
the number you're looking for is 33.
33. So
33.
Yeah. So about 200 more hatchlings.
Yeah. So hey guys, come see us at Tampa.
That's right. Yeah. So guys, there's going to be some deals. In all seriousness, because I think about this a lot. Where do you and tell me about all the times that you've thought about this and then blown past it and figured it out. What's been your number that you're like, you know what, I got to cap it somewhere, because we either have to hire somebody or it's impractical, or you got to sleep, you got to have calories. You're there now. Okay.
Yeah, we're here now. I don't think we could handle much more just with the two of us. I mean, if we hired somebody, yes. But with what we have coming, I feel like this is going to be the most we need to do at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, I could start working after work on this. I mean, I can work late at night cleaning up and things like that if need be, but I prefer not to spend more than 40 hours a week on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's split down the middle. All week is work, and then all weekend is animals.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, we all, no matter how much we say we love it and how, tough and hardworking we are, Lord, I know this spiel and this pitch, but like, got to have a quality of life. You got to, it's bad enough that probably the longest vacation I can look forward to in the next 5 years is 4 days, literally leaving is probably a 4-day, proposition. And sure, you could find somebody else, but honestly, even if I hired one person who really practically, without working every day in here for a long time, is going to know the routine to take care of, like you say, 200 plus snakes. And compounded with it's in my house. People, you got to walk through my living room and my music studio to get to my snakes. Yeah, that's a hard thing. So the point being that there's been times though that I've thought that I was at the top, and then you figure it out and you take another step, and you figure it out and you take another step. Have there been those times where you're like, I'm not done, like I'm quitting, like we're done, like we're capped out, and then I see you laughing. That must be an awkward yes.
I mean, I have not been to that point. Like I've been really, really busy and just busting my butt all the time, but I've never gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, this is too much. I gotta stop. I haven't gotten there yet. I feel like I can always pull out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Josh.
I'll keep it to myself.
So, I drag him into this, and he's so supportive.
Usually what happens is when Sarah's on my case about stuff she doesn't need to be, I'm like, you know what? Let's just get rid of them all.
He's not serious, of course.
No, but but then the next sort of logical question becomes the retooling, the reshaping, the polishing, the refining.
Right.
And something I've always heard is people saying, well, it happens at this time or it happens after X number of years. And I find myself like almost, I wouldn't say all the time. And I know that people are going to go, well, if you're doing it all the time, it means you didn't have a plan. No, that's not true. Great opportunities like the clown I picked up today landed in my lap. No, I didn't plan for this magical clown to land in my lap. So my plans
male clown.
Yeah, my plans have changed. I worked out a deal that I never could have seen coming where it's a red stripe OD leopard clown. That's a powerful animal. I'm not going to ignore him because my plan called for a het clown male this year. No, the het clown's gone. He's out of here, or it's not a het clown. It's an Enchi clown. Enchi clown, perfectly great breeder. I don't need that animal anymore. So, I find myself saying retool, reshape, refine all the time. How do you all look at it? Do you all look at it as like events, or do you kind of constantly look at it?
Weekly. I mean, you're always learning something new. You're always picking up new strategies. I mean, we will talk about a project and then realize that like, hey, we can do this and this and kind of make it a little bit more efficient. Like what Josh was talking about efficiency. You can always improve for more efficiency. And so that's what I mean when I say weekly. There's always something you can tweak. And that's not just with cleaning, but animals as well. Like, hey, do I really need this animal? If I want to do this and this, is this animal necessary? And if it's not, then it's time to go, because you're just wasting rack space, and you're not reaching your goals any faster.
Yeah. And I think privately we've had some of this conversation. There's always a trade-off: time, space, rodents, and money.
Right. Yeah.
I'm of the opinion, on a sort of a scale of economy or scale of efficiency, I'd rather, if I have the space, I'm already dedicating my time. One more or two more or 8 more isn't really kicking my butt. And so I'd rather hold on to those if I know I have a show coming up or I think that there's a good opportunity to sell it versus wholesaling it. But that also goes to my point. I always say that everybody's resources and time are different. I think we were talking yesterday or Sunday. How many shows this year do you think you'll do all told?
We're going to try to do both Tampas, both Orlandos, and then of course we'll be in Daytona.
Yeah. So that's like 5 shots to make it happen. Whereas for better or worse, and I know it probably sounds glamorous to people, but it's not, because I'm getting night sweats about how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to do 26 shows a year. And this is my full-time job right now. I do have some other side hustle kind of things, but this has become a number one. So there's that balance where I can't say what's right or wrong for people on whether it makes sense to keep. It's an easy, or I find it an easy argument to say, well, it takes up time and space, get rid of it. Yeah, but if I can make an extra $100 by holding on to it and my rodents pay for themselves and are profitable,
right? I
don't care if I've got to pay $3 to $5 every week. That's a different story. Then I have a little different challenge with it. So, in buying and investing and accumulating, what are any like errors that stand out that if you were to say to people, like, not that we're old hands at this, I've always been transparent that I don't consider myself an expert. I'm out to learn as much as anybody else is. What are some things that stand out in your mind that you're just like, that was just a waste of time and maybe money and this and that? What sticks out in your mind on that?
So probably for me, we had a bad habit of going on Craigslist and just buying people's collections, especially if they had breeder size females there. We just wanted to breed, and we didn't care what we got on our first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, because I I can empathize with that. I can't say I was just buying collections on Craigslist, but I damn sure was buying adults that I wanted to breed just to breed. Talk a little more about where you felt like that fell apart or what didn't make sense.
I mean, it's hard to pass up when someone's like, listen, I've got this whole collection, and they had like 3 good snakes and then like 5 not so great snakes. Of course, you're going to buy the whole collection because you want those 3 good snakes, but now you're saddled with 5 snakes that aren't so great. And that's, that's kind of how it started,
Yeah. Did you feel like you gained any value of learning how to sell or learning the ropes of selling from that, from any of that experience?
I mean, I feel like everything is practice. So of course, every mistake you make, you're going to learn from. So in the beginning, of course, you're like, oh, look at this huge collection. We're going to buy it and we're going to breed some snakes. And then you have, let's say your first clutch of eggs. You're like, oh, we did it. We had eggs. And then you realize that all your eggs are like pastel het clowns. Well, when it comes time to sell those, nobody wants pastel het clowns. And so you realize pretty quickly that what you were planning to make is not going to do anything for you.
It's not a good idea to make those snakes that you can't sell.
Yeah. And not just that you can't sell them, but if you're making snakes that there's already thousands of, then you shouldn't be doing that,
Yeah. I actually made a video one time saying buy collections in whatever year it was, either 2022 or 2023. I had just what you were saying. There'd be 5 or 10 like animals that I genuinely wanted in a collection. And then I had inventory to, clearly make sure it was quarantine safe, healthy, all of that. I put my brand on it, my name on it. My ratings are gold. So, I mean, I did it the right way. But I found it as a way to drive cash flow and to drive some revenue for myself to fund things. But then I also found it gave me some experience to find out so that I didn't run into a buzzsaw like in person at shows. I felt like I had a better footing of what sold and what worked and what didn't. Now, I guess the difference in what you all are talking about versus what I'm talking about is I always felt like what I was breeding, if it didn't sell, I would keep happily, which sounds like a little different experience than what you had. So I guess that would be kind of one nuance on it. I also got a little bit lucky in that my very first year of clutches was still at that tail end of the pandemic boom, and they sold in like 6 weeks. Everything was gone in 6 weeks. I was like,
nice.
Told you, Kelly, this is where it's at. We're going to get rich. And,
there you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for about 6 weeks I felt rich, and then that money was gone. But, so, I mean, I did feel like I learned from it, and I'm pretty selective to this day. I'll still buy collections. But it's not just for, hey, let me breed. And I think we even talked about the other day, I declined a collection from a breeder that I really, really respect, but I looked at the snakes and I was like, these aren't for me. I don't want to take that responsibility on. So, Jessica brings up a fair point about the bio concerns as well. And that's, it is a risk out there. And I'd say watch the video that I made. I mean, I put a lot of stipulations on sort of the due diligence that I do, but to her point, you're not going to visually inspect Nido for sure. So I get her point on that as well. Keeper Kane says we're all waiting on the riches. Yeah, well, they they were there for like 45 days, and then it was back to work.
Yeah.
So 33 clutches this year. How would you classify those? And when I say that, did you pair things, or how much things did you pair with the mindset of, hey, we want this to advance, hey, we want this to be able to sell, and hey, we want it to sell, but if it doesn't sell, we're going to have a home for it or a need for it kind of thing?
Probably close to half of those are future planning. There's like the triple hats with the Xanthic Clown and Hypo clutch, the triple hat Xanthic Hypo pies. We're going to have the Xanthic pied, pus head hypo clutch. So a lot of that, we're going to have a lot of just visual pieds coming. So those are going to be most likely with the intention to sell. Some clown stuff, hold back a couple, sell a lot of that. So, I mean, there's going to be a mixture of holdback stuff and show stuff coming out this year from us.
We tried to make it this year so that we have that, what we're breeding isn't just going to be triple hets, just normal triple hets, that there's going to be value to them. So they're going to have multiple codoms with a visual recessive and then two hets.
Yeah. I think something that really struck me, and I think what you just said is a really valuable point. Speaking of Steve's morphs, I bought, it's been about 2 years because they're breeding now. And actually the female, I'm waiting on her to lay an egg any second. I've been doing the check all day. I bought a triple het 1.1 from Steve. I paid a lot of money for it. The most I think I'd ever paid at the time for 2 animals. Now we're at a point in an evolution in the industry where male triple hets you can't even give away, much less charge for, it feels like. Maybe there's a few combinations out there. But I feel like what you said about having codoms and or a visual plus hets is sort of kind of the new baseline. And I think that's important for a lot of people to hear, including myself sometimes. I have a clutch that thankfully I'll keep all the females from if I need to. But it's a clown axanthic hypo triple het clutch. That's all it can be. There's no codoms in the mix. So that's all the babies are going to be. And I hate to admit it, the males, I'm probably just going to have to either mark as normals or do, some sort of Patreon super bargain kind of thing, where really I'm just building value in customer happiness and satisfaction with them. Now, again, the females I'll be happy to have, and they'll be really versatile females in the future. But I think what you're saying is vitally important for people to hear. Like, produce your offspring. I mean, look what's happened to Just. It's amazing. We're saying Just clown pieds. That's a hot topic in the Patreon chatter. Just clown pieds kind of tank. But clown pied, Enchi, clown pied, Fire, Orange Dream, Yellow Belly, those still hold their value. So I think in people's planning, like, it's really valuable thought and a good point that you brought up there about having codoms or a visual plus in there.
How much? That's the best way to keep the value.
I think so. And I mean, your future results are better. That's a really sort of a compounding interest investment that I think is fantastic. Speaking of past this and 66% that, how much do you guys use or not utilize genetic testing? How much does that play into your pairing planning?
We don't do anything with the intention of using genetic testing, but I mean, we're more likely to test a male than a female. And
talk
more
about
likely
that.
to grow up a female.
Yeah.
Well, just because with a male, you're going to be throwing out to multiple females, and you just don't want to waste that many clutches if you're to prove out the male.
Right.
They grow up faster, you get your results faster. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. And like you say, you don't want to put a male to 7 females to try and prove something. And you have, oh my gosh, can you imagine those days of having 6 clutches where you're like, none of this is, this is junk.
That's the net result I see of genetic testing, is that there's just going to be fewer snakes on the market that are not intended to be made and not really useful.
Yeah. Well, and I think we're already moving at breakneck speed, even in my short time involved in this industry, but it is going to just rocket forward. And I love, obviously I'm biased, I advertise for Gray Rider at shedtesting.com, but I love what that's done. I know some of the old timers say, oh, you don't do it the old way, and it's ruined this and that. And things change. Change is inevitable. It's always going to be there. So
I think it cuts down on a lot of unwanted snakes is what it does. And I think it's good for the industry.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think it's a neat industry in and of itself, or a sub industry. I'm greatly intrigued by it. I loved that episode that I did last week, but I also wonder if, so for example, and again, we talk about this in the Patreon some, but like, if my average snake sale is flirting with, it usually hovers by the end of the year, it'll be 3 and change, 350. You got your wholesales on one end, and you got your slam dunk stuff that you don't hold back on the other end. And it meets at this little lower price point than people ever really expect. But say it's around 350. If you have, and we already all know it's a tough industry to make money and be profitable in. If everybody relies on testing, and I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here because I absolutely value Charlie, but the flip side, if everybody relies on testing, people are going to go broke. Like, I don't think that the average person or the average sale of snake would allow for a 10% more overhead per animal, essentially, or 15 to 20% more overhead. Did I make that point right? It's expensive is what I'm saying, like relative to the cost or the retail of the snake.
I think it depends on the animal.
I mean, honestly, normally we would be spending our money on more snakes, but now I'm actually budgeting for testing.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna, I mean, what do you think? We spent about $1,500 on testing so far.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be probably spending $1,000 the next few months once these tests that we're eagerly waiting on are ready to go.
Monsoon, especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we got to talk about that. Nice dropping of the. By the way, Adam, monsoon. Yeah, that is good.
Now we're waiting.
You brought up a good point. It does depend on the animal. I guess that's my point too. And I wonder. I haven't worked it out for myself, but what percentage? Charlie at Reagan Renee one time had a formula worked out. If it's X percentage of the value of a snake, and this, it was like 2 or 3 parts of the equation, then he'll test. But I think it's important to think through that. And I hesitate sometimes when people are like, "Well, just pair those and you can test everything." And I'm like, I think we should put more thought into pairing and get a little more reliant on ourselves and Mother Nature. And again, that's not to take anything away. Clearly, I adore Charlie and what he's doing, and I love his story. And I use him constantly. This is maybe a lecture I'm giving myself too. Yeah. So, I mean, I use him a lot, but I think about that some. So did that go into any of your pairing, or did you have pairings where you specifically said, you know what, we're going to do this, like with monsoon, like that's a new enough gene that if you do hit, that's always going to be worth the testing, right? Or not?
I think that the secret is to test before you breed, if possible.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking more along the lines of triple hets to triple hets. Like, I hear a lot of people going, well, just put your triple to triple, and whatever you don't hit, you can just test everything. And I'm like,
I'm not sure if I want to do that.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of testing.
Well, it's a lot of testing, and it's not that very good. Yeah, they're not free, and it's not very good odds either. Like, I actually don't care for those odds. So, yeah,
I'd be more apt to test a 66% than a 50%.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and it's clearly better odds that for that outcome as well. I guess I would be. Yeah. I have done it. I mean,
how much you need it, how important it is.
Yeah, and what the animal is. Will Hella Heat brought up a moment ago. Yeah, he made the argument that puzzle's holding its value. It is. It won't, but it is, and it's not a knock on the gene. It's that tune into Jessica's channel. Everything is going to go down. It does. That's just what happens to it. That's okay. Right. But puzzle right now probably makes sense to do the long odds and the tests for, because if you do hit something, it's very valuable. Whereas long odds and hitting clown after testing might not make as much sense. And I love clown. I'm pairing clowns like crazy. I'm just in love with what they do. So I think all that goes into the thought process on it. I want to hear more about your monsoon project. I want to hear more about some of your your baby investments, like your ones. We got to pay a couple bills really quick. Stick around, guys. I got that announcement from Bob Vu. Special offer for Proper Royals viewers. You're going to love it. In the meantime, check out Redline Shipping. If you haven't used them yet, I don't know what more I could tell you. You had to have heard of Redline by now. But if you haven't tried them out, the concierge service is phenomenal. You could call them on the phone, talk to humans that have reptiles, that know what they're doing with reptiles. They do what they say they're going to do. That you get your animal gets there, you get accurate tracking. I used them today to ship animals out. I used them today to ship animals in. I'm a fan. I'm a user. I was a user of Redline before I ever got into business with them. But if you haven't tried it out, or if you haven't used the code, use the promo code PROPER5. You're going to get an extra $5 off of your next shipping label. Also, shed testing. It's the big topic of our industry. It's changed the industry, and I think Charlie's done it the best. I think his customer service is the best. I think his personal care. I think that you could talk directly to Charlie just about any time that you want. His prices are pretty good to begin with as well. So check him out. But Charlie's done a nice thing. Use the promo code PROPER15. You're going to get 15% off of 2 shed test orders. That's not 2 shed tests. That's 2 orders of shed tests. He's never told me that there's an asterisk or fine print. So, stock up, do what you got to do, and put in a big order and save yourself 15% on that. Also like to tell you about Robbie at RGen Reptiles. He's down in Greer, South Carolina. Robbie has a little bit more restraint than people like myself have. He's got a bit of a little bit more refined collection. DG Pied clown projects with dark genes. So he's got single, double, triple visuals, single, double, triple hets with codoms like Blackhead and Stranger. So if you're into DG Pied and clown, DG or Pied, DG or clown, talk to Robbie. He's your guy. Excellent person to do business with. I had done business with him as well before we ever got into advertising business together. Danny and Renee Rocha, that's Portuguese pythons out in Chino, California, in the Inland Empire, just east of LA. They're working with really, really nice. I hate listing things as high end and not high end. It takes away from people, but their stuff is really, really nice. They just hatched a clutch of super blackhead ultramels, and I have a 1.3 of ultramel pied projects from them. So if those sorts of things are up your alley, go check them out. They have great codoms in there. Those 1.3 ultramel pieds that I have from them have Blackhead, Trick, and Mojave kicking in there. So I got some cool stuff coming up from that project in about a year from now. So go check out Danny and Renee Rocha at Portuguese Pythons. Trevor in Aurora, Colorado. Trevor makes us all look good because he posted on his whiteboard today that he believes he has around 136 genes in his collection. My man, he's on. He wants it all. He wants to do it all. Trevor is a great guy to work with. I got to hang out with him about a month and a half ago out there in Denver. He's working with Puzzle, Ultramel, Clown, VPIA, Xanthic, Tri-Stripe, Monsoon, Zebra, and Sunset, as well as a whole lot of lesser known genes that you might not have heard of before. Some of them new, some have been around a long time. If you want some of the esoteric stuff, go check out Trevor at Ball Labs. Also, if you're in Colorado, Trevor is one of the very few licensed rodent breeders. If you're buying rodents and you want it done the right way, above water, legally inspected, all that good stuff, go check out Trevor. Like I say, he's doing it the right way, and I'm proud to be working with Trevor. Last but not least is Chris at B and S Reptilia. Chris is one of the, and I think the original sponsor of the Proper Royals channel. Today, this day and age, we vend Tinley together. We're partners at Tinley. He'll be out in October with me. In the meantime, check him out for all kinds of snake needs, ball pythons, locality, boas, colubrids, Pituophis, if you know what that means. And he's working on the proper permits to have the Pituophis bull and pine snakes at Tinley this year, legally displayed, legally allowed to sell. For the record, he never brought them when they weren't legal. So legal to sell there. He'll be one of the few vendors that has that, and we'll be at the same table. So come see us. Go check out Chris in the meantime. I got a really cool message from Bob today out of the blue. Bob Vu. I took it as a huge compliment and again, testament to the audience. Bob is promoting his own show in Atlanta, the Southeast Reptile Expo. I will have full details on that by the time that Bob is on the show. Stay tuned on my Instagram. But Bob said, hey, could you help me promote this? And I want to take care of your viewers if you're willing to. I said, yeah, sure. I'd be honored to. And I'd take it as a compliment. And he said, all right, use the promo code PROPER. No numbers, no nothing else. One word, proper, PROPER. If you buy tickets to the show, you're going to get 10% off of your tickets to the show. Put that promo code in at checkout and 10% off of any of Bob's animals on Morph Market. If you inquire, put proper in your inquiry. Let them know that you're coming from Proper Royals and that you view Proper Royals, or just use the promo. Put a promo code that says proper in the inquiry. You're going to get 10% off of the animal from Bob just for watching and supporting Proper Royals. So there you go, guys. That's the power of a strong audience. That's the power of good relationships. And big thanks to Bob. Go take advantage of that opportunity. And I have to say, as a side note, Bob has always been very, very good to me. I'll tell you. Really quick story. I was vending the first time in the lobby at Tinley. It was in March. Was it March? No, it was in October. It was cold in that lobby. I had no idea. I had just come from Florida. I never in my life had used heat rope vending. I didn't have heat rope. I didn't ask for any help. Bob walked right up to me, looked at my display, introduced himself, said, "Do you have heat rope?" I said, "No." He said, "Come with me now." Okay, go with Bob. Hands me a heat rope. He goes, "Here you go. Get your animals warm." It's just like that kind of thing. How cool is that, right? So anyway, Bob's, it's just one of the few times he's been on the show. We've hung out before. He's been very gracious to me. So I'm happy to do it. Check it out. 10% off all of Bob's animals, proper, and you get 10% off. So there you go. Tonight we're hanging out with Sara and Josh from SunDog Serpents. If you all feel like I'm rushing the show a little bit, I don't mean to, but we're on a time crunch here. They came on. They said, hey, we got till about 8:15 because we're going to be on Ken on the Let Me Know show at 9:30 Eastern time tonight. So we got 15 minutes of power here. Thanks, everybody, for sticking around. There's 45 of you. If you're not following Sara and Josh at SunDog Serpents, you should do so. And they have a LinkTree. It's nice. All their links in one place. Nice job. I'm not affiliated with LinkTree.
Watching you.
That's right. It makes it so much easier on me when all I want to do is share my guest link and get everybody out there to all your places you can be. And guests don't realize, like, viewers are only going to click on so many things or scroll through so many things. LinkTree is nice because it's all just right there. So anyhow, check that out down below. Give them a follow on Instagram, but also you have a YouTube channel. Okay, so tell us about, my bug zapper goes off. Wonderful. Tell us about the monsoon and a couple other sort of family jewels quality stuff that you got working on. What are you excited about?
All right. Right now we don't have any visual monsoons. We're doing it the poor people way. We're buying hats and possible hats. Right now we have 1,200 grams ready to go this upcoming season. A double het monsoon and pied female
from Brock.
That's nice. And well, and if she's at 1,200 now, really by breeding time, you got another at least 90 days, if not 180 days. You got time.
Yeah. So we've got two males that are past het monsoon. One of them is also past het pied, which clearly is pied. We need to test for the monsoon now.
Yeah.
So is that what you mean? Like, are you going to breed them if you haven't tested them?
No.
The passes? No. Okay. All right. So that's the one, like, you need that test to come. Time's ticking. Let's get this before season starts, huh?
Like, I've been breeding the past het monsoon that we've already had with various exanthic females, trying to get those two genes mixed together, and hopefully
Gotcha.
we get some double hets.
Okay, so that's the
coming this season.
Yeah.
So that's the insight when you were saying earlier, obviously ideally test before you breed if possible. I was like, yeah, that would be good. But yeah, if the test doesn't exist, okay, there's a little context for me. I gotcha.
Yes, sir. So, I mean, yeah, like the tests are brand new. They haven't had all of the tests yet. So, I mean, like we waited on G-Stripe for a while, and then that came out, and so we were disappointed that our clown past that G-Stripe was not a G-Stripe. So we had to go another direction with him. Let's see. So what else do we have over here? We have got the we picked up a pretty nice order from Billy over accumulated over the winter. He was very kind with kind of Sarah had signed up for his raffle and nobody else did, so he's like, all right, pick the best two and they're yours.
Yeah.
Oh man. What a great
we got an inchy monsoon.
Put yourself out there. Great job.
Yeah.
Oof. Go ahead.
Hopefully we didn't put him on the spot there, but I mean,
he was super gracious.
Thank you very, very much, Billy, for that. That was super kind. Didn't need to do that. He could have just gave us the money back and said, these are $4,000 animals. I'll give you $100 off or whatever.
No, but it's we picked up an inchy het monsoon and a freeway clown, both females. I love that freeway clown so much. She is so beautiful. I'm in love with her.
If you, I'm sure you'll have come up with something for her, but if you don't, I got some super gravel friends that could make her acquaintance if you wish. No, and I got to give you all thanks as well, sort of vicariously through you all to Billy. Out of the blue, Billy shared my reel on his story today, and I was like Billy and I are totally cool, but I'm not in his Patreon. It's not like we chat. Like if we see each other in the same chat room, we'll say hello or whatever. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Sara and Josh just got that sweet order from him. I bet that he saw, I bet he's sharing it because of SunDog, not because of Proper Royals, which is, I'll take it. I'll take the win. It doesn't bother me, man. That's, so that's cool. Short.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be same to you all, by the way, but I'll turn that right back around on you. What plan do you have for that free? It is a freeway clown or an inchy freeway clown?
She's a freeway clown. We've got some super asphalt stuff.
There you go.
So
also we have another.
We also have a
leopard freeway het clown.
Yeah, pastel.
That we could put to that, but.
Pastel leopard freeway het clown male.
Honestly, what we're going to do is we're going to breed that leopard pastel freeway het clown to a super asphalt and see if we can get a super asphalt het clown. We'll test those babies.
Yeah. Wait, if you have a super asphalt male, they'd all be het clown babies though, right?
He is a super asphalt's not het clown. So we've got the pastel leopard freeway het clown male that we're going to put to our freeway clown female.
The super asphalt female.
Yeah, but she's visual, right? All the babies would be het clown from a visual, right?
I think the plan is to pair the male het clown with the female super asphalt and then test those babies for clown and then put them with the visual freeway clown.
We're not okay. There's an extra animal.
Freeway clown is only about 150 grams. We got an extra year or two in between breeding that one.
Yeah, we got time.
I gotcha. Okay, I lost track. There's another animal entered the picture while I was not following. Okay, I got it.
Sometimes I'm playing 3D chess, and it's hard for certain other people to keep up.
I was like, look, man, I don't know a whole lot, but I know if one parent is clown, damn it, they're all going to be het clowns. That's what's going on here. I gotcha. So and where do you? No, it's not. It's nobody's. I'm sure it's mine. I I can't follow everybody's genes things. Like if I'm not writing it down when you're rattling it off, I'm probably missing 70% of it. So just, I promise you that. The Het Monsoon that you got from him, what was that genetics?
We have an Inchy Het Monsoon.
And
then we got a Yellow Belly or Asphalt 50% Monsoon Pied female from him. And then males, we got a special Yellow Belly 50% Monsoon Pied. And then we have our special 50% Monsoon male.
Let me ask you this. Would you, I guess, two-part question, and you don't have to get specific, just sort of a philosophical. Do you pay more for possible hets? And if you do, what pos hets do you pay more for? And what other ones are you like, I'm not paying you for the great if I get it, but I'm not paying you for it. I'm not paying you extra for it. We're talking about your philosophy on that.
Here's what I think. If you can see it, you pay extra for it. If you can't test for it, you pay extra for it. If you can test for it, I'm not sure if I trust people, to be honest, about having not tested it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
It also depends on the breeder. I mean, obviously we trust Billy. If he says, I'm 99% sure that this is Het Monsoon, then we're going to take him at his word because he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it. I don't, well, I haven't dealt any in Monsoon, although I have thought about it. I've thought of, is it time to do the Steven route and drop some cash? And I was like, what would I drop cash on? I was like, Monsoon probably is what I would drop like serious cash on if I did.
You got a hookup for that, by the way.
On what? Some Monsoon? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fantastic. There we go.
There is one more special project too.
What's that?
And that is the Zebra project.
Oh, well, yeah. Let's talk about that. All right. We got 6 minutes. Let's pick that apart real quick.
You are aware of our zebras, I believe, of our het zebras.
Yeah.
We don't buy visuals yet. These are double het zebra and TSK Xanthics. So when I found out about Xanthic, the first thing I did was I found out about zebra, and I'm like, I want to put these two together. And this is almost 3 years ago. And lo and behold, our good friend Steve over at Steve's Morts, he already had that idea, and he had a couple available, so we picked those up from him.
Yeah,
that's super nice and crazy. Steve works with VPI and TSK, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that worked out perfectly for you guys. Hey, I should and just another opportunity to plug Steve real quick. I did take a risk, and to your point about depending on the breeder, I bought 3 Wookiee possible het clowns from him, and he gave me a very kind pricing on it because I did take the chance, and that did enter my mind. I was like, it's already tested. It's like, and not that Steve would do that anyway, but in my mind I was like, yeah, all right, I'll take a shot. And sure enough, one of them did prove out, 2 of them didn't. And he was true to his word. It worked out for me. I feel good about the investment I made. So, it's good. Tell me, and Josh, I know you love good, strong opinions. What of Zebra and Mackenzie?
I mean, Mackenzie's okay, I guess. It sort of looks like Yellow Belly to me. And we've got a Yellow Belly Mackenzie, and it sort of looks like what I think a super Yellow Belly would look like if they didn't turn white.
Okay. So you're taking, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but am I right? You're taking the not the same as Zebra is where you're going.
I mean, we heard about Mackenzie before we bought Zebra, and we didn't care.
Yeah, we still bought Zebra.
Yeah, that sentiment I agree with completely. It turned out to be Mackenzie, but I bought something. I didn't know what the genes were. I saw it and I was like, is gravel in that? And he goes, yeah. I said, I want that. I've never seen anything like that right there. And it was a pastel Mackenzie highway. And it was cool enough. you all have heard me swear up and down I would never put yellow belly into my gravel project, and there it is. I bought it. I didn't care. It looks that cool. And then I started.
You'll know which ones are yellow belly. It'll be fine.
Exactly. That was the outcome on that. And the ones that miss are going to look like that parent. I'm like, okay, I'll get them out of there. And it was after I had posted that it was Mackenzie that somebody was like, do you think zebra and Mackenzie are the same? I'm like, I have no idea. What are you talking about? And then I went down that rabbit hole. I was like, oh, okay. So to your point about, to your point about not caring, I don't care either. That it was a beautiful animal that I feel like I could work with. So whether that's Mackenzie or whether it's het zebra or whether zebra is super Mackenzie, at this moment, I don't care because I was so excited to work with that animal that I got on there. So what genes do you like with zebra, and where do you want to see your, obviously you want to hit a visual axanthic zebra, but where do you see that? Where do you want to go on top of that?
I mean, I don't really know if I want to do it with clown or pied, maybe hypo, and that would probably be, and then take it from there.
Yeah.
See what other codoms look good with that.
Probably fire.
Yeah. I love. Well, yeah, that's. Oh, yeah. It's the super asphalts or super gravels with axanthic are just, they're a dream for me. I'll be making head axanthics this year with of those. So I'm with you on that part. I do like the hypo axanthic plan though too. I think that's the answer to a lot of, again, without getting into the argument of what holds its blacks and whites better or what line, hypo is going to make it all better across the board is what I think. Anyhow.
Yeah.
All right. Take it home. We got about 60 seconds. Tell people where they could see you, where they could find you, what they should know about you, and anything else.
All right. You can find us on Instagram, SunDog Serpents. We are also on Morph Market, SunDog Serpents. We do have a website under construction. It will be ready soon. We'll be vending in Tampa this weekend. We'll be over by Dale. You can't miss his table because it's huge. And then we're also going to be in Daytona in August. We have a couple tables in room 2. So make sure you stop by and say hi.
Wait list for Orlando too.
Oh yeah, we're on the wait list for Orlando. So we'll see how that works out.
Very good. Guys, I could vouch for Sara and Josh. They've been a joy to do business with for years, plural now. Go check out their stuff. You owe it yourself just to look at it. Just see what's out there. They're great people, and great people should always have, an opportunity at least to be looked at. So go see them in Tampa. If last call, if any of you all out there need a table, want a table for Tampa this weekend, get in touch with me right away. You can have mine at cost. I'm not going to charge you extra for it. I'm not trying to make $1 on it. I'm happy to sublet it out at cost. I make nothing on that. So let me know if you're interested on that. Next week, Leviathan will be here. And in 15 minutes, go check out the Let Me Know show with LMK Reptiles, I believe is the handle on there. That's Ken. And I'm going to go check it out and see that and give Ken, Josh, and Sara a little more support. Thank y'all so much. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for doing the show. And thanks so much, guys. Have fun tonight.
Thank you for having
Keep it going. Oh, it's my pleasure. I would hang out with you all. I'll leave it there. I'll hang out with you all anytime you want, though. I promise you that. All right, guys. I'm going to click the button. I'll see everybody soon. Take care. Bye, y'all.
Bye.